and welcome back to another episode of Agrarian Skies 2. Welcome back, welcome back. Last episode, we were messing around with these Viz relays, and I couldn't figure out how to get the recharging inside the Arcane terminal. Well, I watched a very interesting video by the Bashful Brit. I liked it, and you'll see that on my Twitter feed. I watched it all the way through, and I found out a few things that I didn't already know. And the main important thing was how to link these things into recharge. Okay, and it's all down to the memory card, as it should have been. I think my theory was working off the P2P tunnels, the P2P tunneling, like in normal applied energistics. You shift right click with the memory card on the origin P2P, and then you go and right click the exit P2P because it becomes a tunnel. So you shift right click the entrance to the tunnel and you right click the exit to the tunnel, right, to link the two together across one channel. What Thaumic Energistics does is you use the memory card to take the source of the Viz that you're going to be using. So in our case, up here, where the node is pulling the Viz straight into the AE system via this Viz relay interface, we shift right click on this, and then any device that we right click after that will use that relay for recharging. So in this case, I was trying to get this relay to be the other end of a tunnel, and I was trying to figure out how to make this controller part of the other end of the tunnel, but I don't need to. All I needed to do was right click with the memory card, and now this wand will recharge whenever it's been used in the Arcane terminal, which is awesome. And I've also got this set up so I've got a manual table that I can create things in here as well. If I'm doing two at the same time or something like that, if I'm doing complicated recipes where I've got two things on the go at the same time, multiple component parts and all that kind of stuff, I've got those two set up, and it looks pretty cool as well. I like the look of it. These things on the top here, these relays on the top, look pretty good. It was suggested that I put those on this sort of thing as well, but that's not quite right. It's all done with memory cards. The same with the crafting center down here, these crafting assemblers, the arcane assemblers. I right-clicked the memory card on the block itself, and that connected it to the Viz relay so that it recharges with Viz. Very good, very good. I like it. It's awesome. It does mean, though, that one of the little plans that I had was to put Viz relays all up here, bringing multiple different Viz from nodes in this chamber. I was going to have like many nodes around here so that I can bring Viz into the AE system from multiple places at once, so I'd potentially have more income than I could spend, as it were. At the minute, this is pretty fast recharge just off this one node, so I'm quite happy just growing nodes and messing about with getting new nodes and growing them and all that kind of stuff, and selecting nodes and making nodes work and all that kind of stuff. I'm quite happy with that at the moment, but that does mean that there's only one entrance to the tunnel, as it were. There's only one entrance to the tunnel, and that's connected to this one node. I was thinking up here that I would connect another relay to another node, and that would charge the system as well. But of course, that would be an entrance to another tunnel, so the memory card would have to go directly to things that tunnel supported, or that relay supported. And I was going to do the same over this side for two more, so I'd end up with 4 relays bringing Viz into my system. But, and it's a great big fat but, that's not going to work because I need to have one entrance point and then multiple exits for the relay. Unless I do like device by device, each device has its own relay, in which case each device that I connect can have its own memory settings from the relays, which, yeah, maybe the long-term goal will be that, to have 4 Viz relays into 4 relay interfaces and each of those interfaces connected to its own particular recharging area, recharge. So all 4 devices are being recharged properly. But for now, this is fast enough for me to recharge everything off this one while I'm growing other nodes and things in this area. I don't exactly know how many other nodes I'm going to need to recharge and things like that, but, well, at least we've got something going on. Oh, before I finish filling myself up, I'm going to have a beef Wellington. Nom nom nom, all the way down. That's filled me up right and proper. Okay, so, with that all sorted out now I've got this recharging done, and I've got the arcane crafting sorted out, so that recharges. I need to set up some more recipes in this knowledge core. So this knowledge core makes knowledge cores. I would like to have a few other little processes going on around and about the place that I want to set up today. And also, I want to set up making nodes. So I'm going to try and get it so that I can set up this inscriber. Was that the one? Yeah, this inscriber and the other inscriber to do a lot of cool things today. Hopefully, so bear with me. One of the first thing that I wanted to talk about and sort out is shards. The very, very original idea I had for shard production was make infinite water shards, turn water shards into balance shards, and then turn balance shards into whatever other shard I want. I found out through looking through the Thaumic during my research period that these slivers of shards actually produced better results than the bigger shards. And let's see, making a small shard, okay, we take an air shard and it converts down into 4 slithers, but only costs 1 pedicio. So what we're going to do, we're going to take shards. We're going to take these shards and we're going to program the system how to make things for us. Okay, so I'm going to take all these shards out, order shards and earth shards, and I'm going to try and recipe all this up. So we can save that for a start. That's one. I just scanned it by accident. This is the pleasures. And then we put one of each in. We'll make all these recipes so that it can make all of the shards very easily, all from one processor. I like that it's got so many patterns in one place. I think that's an awesome addition to Applied Energistics. And maybe it should be referred to as the way forwards. A pattern provider having multiple patterns available inside the pattern provider would be awesome. Just to be able to remember it all. Okay, so that's that. The making of the full shards, I've already got all that set up in here. The alchemical constructs are already set up to make all those. Except for the water one, because I turned that off for a little bit because I've got infinite water shards anyway. So I've been using this end one for making night ore, which I needed a lot of previously. So we've got those. And oh, and then we can put it, yeah, let's take it. We can then put it into our setup to auto craft. Let's throw all those back in there so we can use them. So now it knows how to craft all of the different types of shards, and we put that into there. Bing, there we go. So now I should be able to craft. Let's just scan it first. Come on, scan, scan, scan. Takes a little time to scan these big things. There we go. Wow, the research points for that. So all of these now are slithers of such and such, right? So let's take air, earth, order, fire, water, and order. Okay, so we take those, and oh, we should be able to craft them. Let's just check that. Let's just check we can craft them. Let's take all of them. Yeah, look. All 6 are craftable, which is awesome. Let's have another 1 slither of that. Yeah. Do it. Yeah, no problem. Okay. And then that will have used up and possibly already replenished, because it didn't use a lot, but possibly replenished already in here. Terra, Pedicio, Ordo, Ignis, Aqua, Air, all fully stocked up. Awesome. Okay, so that's all set up properly. Now, I'm thinking of setting this up so that we've got automatic processing of things like this. Alright, so I want to set up a bit of an automation for warded jars, void jars, because this little recipe is a bit of a pain to keep repeating over and over again whenever you want something. Now, I know with the method I'm using, I'm not going to need a lot of warded jars, but at least with this way round, I've got something going on that I can do regular. So we get a warded jar there and a blaze powder there. So just to get them so that I've got it ready and sorted. I'd need some warded jars right now, so I figured I'll just use a few warded jars now, just use them up, and then be able to repair them as I needed to. I actually need 5 more to do 1 for each. So I'm going to need to make some little crafting and things going on, but that's not a problem. I will be back. Alright, another little test that I wanted to do. Right, I've got 6 warded jars now for the 6 primary essentia. I wanted to see if I could void off what's already in the system to have 1 jar full at a time. Now, I know I can store tons and tons in this system, but I'd rather store all the odds and ends and have an automatic refill process for the ones that I use the most of. You never use more than a jar full, I don't think. So no is the answer to that. It won't do that. So what I'm going to have to do is get myself an export bus for the essentia. Pop the export bus on, well, let's put it on there for now because that's okay. And set it up to void out everything that isn't permutatio. Put that there. So this should now reduce my amount of this down. Yep, there we go. So it's voiding off the excess. Now it sounds like a waste. It sounds like a huge waste. But to have a processing system that doesn't get out of hand, I could set up the disks in the drive. I could set up these disks and put every single essentia that I want on the disk and format the disks so that there's no room for any more than the however many essentia there are in the game. But setting all that up so that it's got storage cells set up with 12 essentia types in each, and limiting them, or having one, I don't know, a 1K storage cell for each of the 6 primary ones. That gives me 6 cells that I'd have to put in there, and then all the other stuff goes on there. Yeah, if I do it that way round, it feels like the long way round. This feels like a shorter path, and get the 6 prime essentia all in one place. I also need to get some storage buses for it. There's some acceleration cards. I'll use those. I'll quickly put the acceleration cards in there. I don't know. I've already got 2 in there. Yeah, okay. It's because I used the wrench to get it off. It's already doing it as fast as it can. Okay, that's no problem. Storage buses is the next thing. This essentia storage bus is... have I made one yet? Import bus, storage bus. There's an essentia storage bus. There it is. Essentia storage bus. I want to make a few of these as well so that I can put storage buses on the void jar. So therefore 64 will be stored in the jar from the storage bus. And if I'm not running the processes, anything that gets added to the system will get voided off. Alrighty, so I've been having some awesome fun with this, setting it all up. Figuring out where things are supposed to go. In fact, I've messed up just there. Turn that one off. Thank you. That should be going just to the back there. Okay, quick explanation. So, we've got these things that I can get sort of infinite of, right? Infinite cobble, that can be made infinite stone, infinite sugarcane, infinite infernus essence, so long as I run those spawners that we've made, and infinite water shards. To eliminate the fact that water shards give 2 extra things that I don't need, I break them down into this first, using the auto crafting, and then just use that to give us 1 per thing, right? The way I've got this set up, so that I don't overfill, these alembics carry 32 of a particular type. And they're all labelled up, so that only that particular type can go in there. And on the back, the thing that we've made just recently is the essentia storage buses. So I've got a little section, a little channel. I've got a channel coming out of here that's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that being a 7th. They're stopped by having the anchors on the back there, so they're not connected to the cable below. But they're storing the 32 essentia that are in the alembics, which is allowing me to keep a stock of 32 of each of these and no more. The actual crucible itself, the furnace itself, the alchemical furnace itself, is going to be constantly full of everything, right? And this should be, in theory, ignis, because it's taken these ethereal essences and melting them down. Anything that isn't ignis would go somewhere else. In this case, there's only ignis, so this is all ignis in here, all ignis in there. When I use something via the storage bus, it will empty out the alembic and then refill the alembic. The more complicated ones, these three here, the water shards are about the same. They're free. That's free, and that's keeping 32 aqua in there. The other ones, these ones are quite a little bit more complicated, as in that they produce two things. So a cobblestone produces both terra and perditio. So I've got them there to produce terra, and I've got them there to produce perditio. And the opposite has an alembic on the top, so perditio up there and terra there. However, these ones go up and over into a void jar, so I'm voiding off the extra terra and perditio from there, which is good, yeah? If I wanted to make another couple of storage buses for these, I could make storage buses for these, but channel-wise, I've only got one more channel, so I'm not doing it that way. What I did do, though, with this for the sugarcane, which gives us 3 types, we've got herba and we've got aqua. Now, the aqua goes up and along and voids out behind it there because there's no need for anything extra above the ignis. And it's also got a third one for herba, and the herba does come round here into a void jar. And I've got a storage bus on that void jar, so I've got 64 in the storage bus for herba. So all in all, this should sort of stop production. This should fill up with the items it needs, but not actually overfill my applied energistic system with the essentia itself. It should just keep, because I'm using storage buses, it should just keep what's available. But I've got it so that it's all auto crafting, auto processing, so this is automatically exporting into there. I do also have an ability just to turn the whole system off by putting a little lever, a toggle bus just there. So toggle bus off, toggle bus on. I can turn this row of export buses off when I need to, which is a good thing, a very good thing. Yeah, so overall that's my setup there. I also quickly set up this, which is 2 alembics and an alchemical furnace connected together with 2 import buses, essentially import buses, which will basically import everything from those 2 alembics. I don't know if I need both, but I've put 2 in anyway, just to see if it makes it that little bit faster. And I've connected that up. This has got charcoal infinite supply under there. It's connected straight to the main dense cable, so it does 8 channels straight away, and I'm nowhere near 8 channels. And the interface on the back. Now I'm hoping the interface on the back here, I could set up some patterns to say, if you do this, I will give you that. So I can put stuff into there through that. I'm hoping that that's the case. It might be that I have to come and just sort of set up an export bus or something like that. Maybe set up a little chest hopper type system going on into here to try and keep this so that when I want a few things, like I need a load of something making, I can put a load of something in here and it will just keep filling it up until like 3 stacks of iron have been used up for metal or something like that, yeah? I've been using it a fair bit for copper, because the copper gives me the precantatio? Is it precantatio? Which is used in crafting these, yeah? So I've been doing a bit of copper in there, and I thought, yeah, I should do that. I should do copper. If I can set it for copper to brigantatio, then brigantatio, permutatio, they all sound the same, don't they? Yeah, copper to that, I should be okay. So we got permutatio. That was it, permutatio. Copper to permutatio. So if I can find a way of putting a copper to permutatio pattern in place, then I'll be pleased with that, because I can auto craft it and just call it and say craft me this. So while doing all this sort of stuff over the last couple of days, we have unlocked a few quests. The one charging station. I built the one charging station and I've not really used it since. Gold caps and hearty breakfast. I'll have a hearty breakfast, please. Thank you very much. We did the relays, and we get a node in a jar, awesome, and another Viz relay. Okay, well that node in a jar will do very nicely. We use the Viz relay in that to get a node stabilizer. I should have checked the quest, man. I should have checked the quest, because I'd have got loads of things that I've been crafting all week. And we've got other things that we've nearly done. There was these infused stones and sinful shards. The sinful shards and things. Node creation. Now that's the interesting thing that I'll probably be doing next episode. Figuring out how to make my own nodes. But for right now, I've just cleared out my inventory of all the junk, just to get some more junk in it. Let's have a look about getting this node in the jar up where it belongs. I'm hopeful that these things are all going to stand the test of time. That a lot of things I'm doing here is going to be working right. Hey, it's done it. It sucked up the other node completely. It ended up with 5 water and 4 ordo from that. That's not bad. You can have that. Allow that any day. There we go. Bring that back over there. And we'll stick this one here now. It's another 15, 15, 15. Awesome. Okay, so that 15, 15, 15, I think I'm just going to set it to be another one of these. So node stabilize it straight away, I guess. May as well use these bits. There we go. Node stabilizer straight away. Just need to make another one of those get-ups and connect it to the system for having another recharge point. I'm pretty pleased with that, really. The ones that this is the one that I'm growing, by the way. The ones that we can make, I think we can make them of one type. So, like, that's 2 types. That's 6 types. That one's 6 types. And that one's 6 types. We can make them so they're only one type. Which is something that we can then feed into these guys. If the process isn't too hard, we'll be able to mass produce them and just keep making them around the place. Might like make one of each and put it next to that node. Possibly the best way to feed it, I'm guessing. Possibly. But I'm quite pleased that this is now set up and running. Set up and running quite well. Hopefully the infusion altar won't need to take all 64 in a row. I think it can take what it's available, and then it might take the last few drops. If it gets stuck on one, well, we've just got to allow the alembic to fill back up, which is a fairly quick process, and hopefully quick enough to keep up with the infusion altar. Hopefully. But anyway, that is it for this episode, folks. Thank you very much for watching another Agrarian Skies 2. Wow, we're into the second half of the 50s nearly. We shall be rocking on to episode 60 over the course of the next week. There may be one more episode this weekend where we'll mess about with the nodes and do a bit more Thaumic quests and things. But I would like to get a lot of this messed around with over the weekend and then give you sort of a review episode with some questing and stuff sorted out. Alright guys, thank you very, very much for watching. I will see you in another episode of Agrarian Skies coming soon. Goodbye.